What's up, gamers? It's Above, and today we're diving into some of the wildest subclass and exotic buffs in recent memory. With Season of the Lost came Sandbox tuning to a longtime underperformer in PvE, Bottom Tree Stormcaller. This subclass has had a long history of mediocrity in D2, and though Stormcaller with Crown of Tempest was always decent, it just never had that oomph that players were looking for. It's been outshined by the middle tree subclasses added in Forsaken, new powerful exotics that made other subclasses obvious picks in endgame content, and fell further down the PvE food chain with the addition of Stasis last year. Stormcaller's kinda just fallen by the wayside. Until now. Season 15, Bottom Tree Stormcaller has been turned up to 11, and I'm honestly blown away. I can't stop playing it. I can confidently say that this has become one of the best subclasses in all of Destiny 2. And today, we'll be covering everything you need to know about Bottom Tree Stormcaller and showcase some builds that you can start slaying with right away. Before we get into the video, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm now partnered with Advanced GG. They have awesome flavors, really cool merch, and are super involved in the Destiny community. It's a gaming supplement that's sugar-free, keto-friendly, and doesn't make you crash because they use natural green tea caffeine. And did I mention that it's Maddie approved? I'm absolutely obsessed with the Strawbanna flavor right now, so if you want to try it out for yourself and support me even further, use code above at checkout to save 10%, and the link to their site will be in the description below. Thank you. With update 3.3.0 that dropped at the start of Season 15, Bungie released a patch that shook up the entire sandbox, from nerfing Anarchy, to patching hot swapping, to buffing subclasses that have been left in the dust for nearly 2 years. Bottom Tree Stormcaller saw some of the most drastic changes, and it is absolutely nuts in PvE right now. The patch notes state that Arc Souls had their duration increased from 12 to 13 seconds, with a 10% buff to the Arc Soul fire rate. When you have multiple teammates using these at once, they actually put in some serious work. Electrostatic Surge now increases sprint speed while allies are nearby, and stacks up to 3 times. This ability was already incredibly strong prior to the buff, but now you'll be zooming on top of it. Electrostatic Surge also gives you a healing rift that lasts 20 seconds, which is 5 seconds longer than any other healing rift in the game. When you're near your teammates, your rift will recharge significantly faster. How much faster, you ask? Well, a 100 Recov Warlock passively charges their rift in 41 seconds. With Electrostatic Surge times 3, which you'll see the benefits from in raids and 6-player activities, your rift will recharge in just 23 seconds, which is 44% faster than a 100 Recov Warlock. That's insane! Lastly, the patch notes state that Landfall's been reworked to shoot 5 arc projectiles on cast. Landfall's always been kind of a gimmick, something that looked cool but wasn't really all that strong. But now, when cast, it spreads like tentacles of the Kraken, clearing massive areas with ease. And when focused on a single target, it can put in some serious DPS. Let's use the yellow bar wyverns from Vogue as an example. A top tree Nova Bomb just about full kills them on impact, and is finished off by the Cataclysm Orb shortly after. The newly buffed Landfall honestly isn't that far behind. You can see here that upon cast, it chunks nearly 2/3 of the Wyvern's health bar. Not bad for a roaming super. Now I want to talk about a primary subclass perk that went completely unchanged, but is absolutely worth noting. Rising Storm is a perk that has been slept on for years now. It grants 10% of your super and 25% of both your grenade and melee energy when simply using your charged melee. Not even a melee kill, literally just tagging an enemy with your charged melee will do this. As you can see, this subclass as a whole is incredibly strong. The major downside has always been the super. It felt weak on its own, and Landfall, the supposed centerpiece, just wasn't all that good. That's why the buff to Stormdancer's Brace is so game-changing. When you think of a super like Chaos Reach and why it's been so dominant, what comes to mind? Geomag Stabilizers. They made Chaos Reach, an otherwise underwhelming super, absolutely insane. In fact, it was so good that the topping off perk was completely removed from the game in this update. Stormcaller has never really had a super regen exotic before, but now, not only does Stormdancer's Brace ramp up to a ×10 damage multiplier on kills, which is a perfect complement to Landfall by the way, since you instantly jump up to the higher stacks when clearing groups of adds, it also refunds up to 50% of your super energy. With recent nerfs to exotics like Ursa Furiosa, Phoenix Protocol, and Geomag Stabilizers, Stormdancer's Brace just became S tier. So let's recap. With this Sandbox update, Bottom Tree Stormcaller's already strong neutral game became even stronger with better Arc Souls, faster movement, and a significantly improved Landfall ability. It pairs perfectly with the newly buffed Stormdancer's Brace that now refunds 50% of your super energy. This build has it all. It has burst damage, best-in-class ad clear, and super regen all in one. Name another subclass that can do all three. Spoiler alert, you can't, because it doesn't exist. The build I'm about to show you takes these buffs to the next level. It excels in solo play and can be tweaked to shine in endgame activities like Grandmaster Nightfalls and raids as well. We'll be using Bottom Tree Stormcaller with Stormdancer's Brace, and both builds will include Particle Deconstruction. This artifact mod is simply too good to pass up. If you don't know what this mod does, I'll put a link to my video down in the description that covers all of the artifact mods in depth. I'll be pairing this with the Vex Mythoclast, arguably the best PvE weapon this season. I know some of you still don't have the Vex just yet, which is why it can be substituted for any fusion rifle of your choice. This includes Jotun, Merciless, 1K, Null Composure, Telesto, Plug 1, really anything you've enjoyed using so far this season. I'm going to pair my Mythoclast with Quick Charge, a 5-point mod that grants you Charged with Light on rapid multi-kills with a fusion rifle. I'm also going to pair this with Stacks on Stacks, which gives me an extra stack of Charge with Light every time I gain a stack. This means I'll always have an excess charge, even when running something like High Energy Fire. For more casual play, High Energy Fire is so much fun because it stacks with Particle Deconstruction, and the damage you'll be doing is disgusting. For activities like GMs and raids, I recommend Protective Light to prevent getting melted. You'll still have the capability to chew through adds with Particle Deconstruction, but will also have the extra damage resist when you need it. On my gauntlets, I'll be running Unstoppable Fusion along with Overload Bow. This is perfect because you'll be able to stun both champions in all activity types. For solo play, I'll be running Ashes to Assets. This mod grants bonus super energy on grenade final blows, and this works perfectly with Rising Storm that refunds super, grenade, and melee energy on charged melee hits. Use your nade, proc your melee, and you instantly get back 25% of your grenade charge. With high discipline builds, you'll be getting your nade back in no time. And once you have your first super, Stormdancer's Brace will consistently refund 50% of your super each time you use it. This means that with double Ashes to Assets, you'll be back to additional supers in no time. We'll also be pairing this with Bomber, a perk that reduces your grenade cooldown when using your class ability. The synergy with Electrostatic Surge and Arc Souls is insane here. You'll want to be using your Arc Souls at all times, and when your teammates grab Arc Souls from you, it will also proc Electrostatic Surge that will significantly reduce the cooldown of your next Rift. In short, this build has incredible uptime on all of your abilities, and they'll be feeding your super energy so that you can chain supers with your teammates like crazy. One aspect of this build that can change for team play is subbing out Ashes to Assets for power preservation. This is a brand new stasis helmet mod that allows your super final blows to generate additional orbs of power for your allies. The base super generates 5 orbs and will give your teammates roughly 1/3 of their super energy back. 1 stack of this mod will generate 7 orbs, and 2 stacks of this mod will generate an astounding 9 orbs for your fire team. This means that you can fund roughly 60% of your team's supers. When you pair this with the fact that Stormdancer's Brace refunds 50% of your super energy, you'll basically be able to infinitely chain supers off of each other. Anyways, guys, I'll let some Hollowed Layer gameplay play out in the background to show just how powerful this build can be. If you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.